welcome to our Friday Huddle. Welcome Friday Huddle follow-up Friday. We have a lot of fun to do our follow-up today, and this is designed for us to really ramp up, to be ready to go into our weekend. A lot of business happens on the weekends, and we're excited to share secret. We have a lot of things happening. If you haven't got events lined up, get with your support system and see what we can do to create events for you if you don't have them already lined up. Today, I'm excited to bring to you a couple of diamonds that have joined us, Leah Johns from Canada and Mr. Ben Bradshaw out of Maryland. I want to turn it over to you guys to share some great wisdom and tips about how we can maximize our weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And welcome everyone. If you're brand new, you're seeing this for the first time, our Friday Huddle. It's definitely a great weekly check-in to inspect what you expect, and every week is a different topic. We have such phenomenal people within our community of people, and you literally get to check in a couple times a week on this platform and learn what other people are doing all across really the globe, if you will, of the things that you can learn to increase your business. And obviously, if you apply, you'll achieve success and results. And more people are hopping in, so I'll go ahead and keep emitting those. But I had asked Diamond Agent from Canada, Leah Johns, one of the most amazing human beings that I've had the pleasure of meeting, to help jump in on this and really help me with I guess co-hosting, if you will. And one of the reasons is because I saw her. I was fortunate enough to witness her put up a post yesterday about the success that she's actually experiencing within her business from using our experience packs. And so, Leah, if you wouldn't mind, please go ahead and share, just your most recent success story from what you posted yesterday, and if you have any tips on what you're doing with the experience packs to not just get them out there, but convert them as well, because that's what matters, correct? So,
absolutely,
please, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ben. Thanks so much. And super love working with you, Ben. Just connecting with you is really rocks my world. The leadership in this organization, we are better together. So, having a pace partner and somebody to connect with, to stay in touch. If you don't got that, I'm sorry to diverse a little bit, but if you don't got that, it's really important. And if that pace partner isn't matching you, it's okay to try someone else, right? So it's like finding a good relationship, right? As a single woman back in the scene, it's, you're not gonna just like find anyone. You got to go through but finding that. So thank you so much, Ben. You've been amazing for me for that, and just keeping me excited and motivated, and just making me realize that every agent needs this, because you're not in business on your own, even though we often feel like it. So choose to reach out and get a pace partner to work alongside you. But the experience packs took a little bit here in Canada to deliver. I'm just gonna, I kind of lost I felt I lost a little bit of momentum, but you always stay positive anyway. So regardless, it's been 4 weeks for some of these people, but of course that's going to be ironing out, and it's going to be moving forward. It's exciting when things are delayed. That means people are using it. So, there's always positives and those negatives, but as they, develop these better systems, so people are getting their packs quicker, which I'm noticing is already happening. I am so excited about these experience packs. So I just had, my first order, and I have right after this call, I have my first agent from sending out the experience pack. So I'm pretty excited about that. I've got 4 lined up this weekend where we're going to be doing a call and going over. I am sending 2 to some people. I'm sending 1 of each. Okay. So, when I just pulled in a $500 order, I'm okay with that. Right? And an agent. So yes, there might be somebody who aren't ordering that touch of connection. Now I do know we have those great videos to walk them through. I prefer to do a connection touch where they hear me, where we can talk, because people will do business with whom they like and trust. And if you take the easy road, sadly, that's not going to be I want my $13 or, in some cases, $26 to to pay for itself, right? And if I get a customer who orders and then constantly orders, that's going to pay for itself over and over and over again. If I get an agent and I can help them, that's going to pay for them and help them build through this amazing simple system. That's going to pay for it over and over and over again. So, so sending the two, so basically, you know, I'm approaching different ways. And as I'm doing it more, as you do, when you get into business and you get into momentum, you get more ideas, which is exciting, right? So you start, you know, you start fizzling these ideas. Sorry, you guys, my voice is harsh this morning because I had to yell at a coyote so loud. It's so as I'm going through this and trying it, so I met with some new people, 4 people, you know, I really miss the belly to belly because I think you guys can tell I'm more a person who likes to be with people. So, you know, operating through my home, you know, it's not for me the best, you know, because we're in lockdown here, but I did meet with some 4 people and, you know, I got some great connections. And then I just said, you know what, can I send you a gift? He goes, I run a home business and it's, you know, it's moved completely online and all this. And we have this amazing system where I can now send gifts to people and literally give you a wonderful experience in your home. And they're like, yeah, well, you don't need to do that. They say, well, I just want to do that because, you know, these products have really changed my life and I just want to send you an experience. And they're like, oh, okay, you know, absolutely. And I said, all I need is your address and, you know, your phone number and I'll send it. I just put my email in for now. I feel like if I'm asking too much information, then they start getting leery. And then as I build that relationship, now they become a customer. Of course, I'm going to get their email and I can go in and update my app, right? So, and add that information afterwards. So, you know, and then after I'm like, awesome. And I said, you know what, just curious, would you be interested in looking better or feeling better? What would be more interesting, like what would be of interest to you? And they're like, oh, well, I don't know. And some of them like, oh, I kind of, and they actually, almost everybody goes, well, you know, feeling better would be good. And they start telling me all their ailments and stuff. And they're like, but of course, everybody wants to look better. And if I see them with this like struggle, I'm like, you know, I tell you what, you know, just curious, if I were to show you a platform where you can make extra money without taking up like hardly any extra time out of your daily schedule, literally 15 to 30 minutes a day, would you be interested in learning that? If so, I'm going to send you 2. Would extra money be helpful to you right now on an online platform? They're like, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to send you 1 of each then. And so now I already have a lead, right? And I'm sending them 2. So that's who I'm sending 2 to. You know, if they do say, no, you know, I'm not interested, I said, no problem. Okay, which one do you want better? And I literally get them to tell me. So I only sending 2 to the people who are actually telling me that, okay, yeah, I might look at something. I'm like, there's no commitment. It might not be for you, but you know, if you are of interest, I want you to experience both looking better and feeling better. And I'm happy to gift that to you. So just come from your heart because, you know, I'm excited about the lady who ordered because she ordered 2. She ordered for her and her husband. She ordered 2 energies. She ordered buy 3 get 1 free recovery and the bonus, because now in North America we have the bonus recovery, right, when they spend $100 or more. And they ordered 2 of the green caps because we talked about her diet and different stuff. She goes, my diet's terrible, you know, that's definitely something I would need. So we ordered her 2 bottles of the recap for her and her husband. So heck, and I said, you know what, if you guys like this, you guys want to put this on an easy reorder, you want your next order, I'll save you 10%. So, you know, she was so excited about that. And just, I'm excited about getting their health back, you guys. So I know what these products have done for me. So if you haven't dove into our nutrition, then it's going to be hard for you to be like, super excited when I press and I'm like, oh, some of you are like, ooh, it's $500, you know, and then I'm like, yes, you spent $500 on your health. I'm so excited for you. It's a totally different conversation and they feel good about their purchase too, right? So she is somebody, obviously I've shared the business with her. but not right now. I share it with everybody, follow up with a customer, right? And so, but maybe down the road after using this, and she might get her family on it, that might be something down the road. So the other thing is, I was thinking I was doing my birthday calls. So halfway through the month, I always do my birthday calls. And I'm looking back, and I've been in the business for a little while. I'm like, oh, some of these people have their birthdays in this month, and they haven't ordered since like 2015, 2016. So I'm like, and there was a couple of years, those of you who don't know my story, I had to battle breast cancer and all kinds of stuff. There was a couple of years where I lost momentum on some customers because I didn't follow up as diligently when I was going through hell. So not a lot of phone calls were done in hell, but anyways, I'm on the other side. But so I'm like, oh, what can I do? And then just dawned on me. I'm like, I could if I start doing my birthday calls after a week in the month, or even right away in the month, and let them know, for these people who haven't ordered for a long time, I'm like, I can actually say, hey, I realize it's your birthday month. You haven't ordered from Secret since 2015. And for your birthday, I would like to gift you something. We've added a bunch of new products within our line, and I would love to send you an experience. And for your birthday, no strings attached. Would you enjoy an experience free on me? Right? It's their birthday. So, and you can look through I noticed you ordered, and you can get in the conversation first. I noticed you ordered such and such and such in the past. So take a little bit more time to have a conversation and say, tell me about your experience with that product. Was that a great product? Did you order it as a gift for somebody? Tell me why didn't you, and I'm curious, why didn't you feel it? They're like, oh, I loved it. Why didn't you feel the need? And I'm okay with getting, oh, I felt it was expensive and stuff. I said, oh, really? Oh, okay. I just find it lasts such a long time, and it just gives so much value than other products. You didn't feel that way? They're like, well, I guess so. So, it gives me a chance, because I'm so confident in our products, to kind of have these discussions with them, right? So, and then I'm like, I'm going to send you a gift. We have, and I said, what the Dead Sea can do through minerals, as opposed to, it really is amazing. And I just want to spoil you. What would you be interested in? Looking better or feeling better? What would interest you more? And then they whom and they haw, and say, and then I say the same thing as I did before, or maybe you want both. I'm actually sending both to people who may be interested in building a business online. We've completely converted, and literally now we can build our business online through half an hour a day. So it doesn't take a lot of, it doesn't take a lot of your time. If so, I'd be happy to just send you both. No strings attached. If it's not for you, no big deal. Oh, okay, well, I might. And I'm like, would extra money be helpful to you today? And they're like, well, yeah, extra money is always helpful. And so that's how I'm going to move forward with these experience packs. I just find they look so great. I sent one of each to myself. I'm actually going to go ahead and send, a good 10 of each to myself, because they're awesome to hand out to people, right? Like, they're right there and you can capture their information. So, they're much better than putting together stuff and making your own. And I don't know about you, but I used to send samples, and it would cost me, $12 in the mail just to ship it. Forget about the time to package it. Forget about going to the post office. Forget about all of that. So it's just an amazing system, guys. And, and obviously using that in conjunction with our elite lifestyle. So meanwhile, we can add them to that group. And then I use Ben's amazing, what do you think of the system? And that's what I'm going to be moving forward. So they see the system. And that's why my friend is going to be signing up on today after this call, is because she's like, oh, well, I can do that. Number one reason why people don't join you in business, because they overthink it. Anybody an overthinker on this call? Right? I overthink everything. I like to look at everything from this angle, this angle, this angle. Before I got in this business, I made someone show me their paychecks. Okay. So I thought it was a scam. So, if people are feeling that way, I get it. But if you show them a system that they can do while they're like on the toilet, literally you could do business. And I joke with them. Like, that's why I said to my friend Amy, I'm like, you could do business while you do business. Like, it's that simple. And so, and have fun with it. And yeah, I'm guilty of that. Exactly, right? So, but yeah, I'm excited about it, you guys. Plug into the system, don't complicate it, just send out gifts, know the products rock, take the time to walk them through it. And if you have any questions or any doubts, reach to your leader. You are never alone, and they can help you with these calls. And just tell people, be honest with them. Just, you know, put your ego aside and say, hey, this is new to me and I want to learn to do the best I can to give the best service. Would it be okay if I invite my friend who's done a few more of these, and so I can learn from her? And just be honest, or him, or whatever, so that we can get this rolling and you're not hung up on all your own crap, because we all have crap, right? We all have fears. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Put that out there. You only have to be bold for a moment. But once you get that bold, once you start being bold, through being bold consistently, it builds your confidence. So take my confidence. This works. Use the tools we have. Reach out to our support team. We're here for you. And we're excited. This is exciting. I can't wait to finish my move so I can just really dive into this and go nuts. It's exciting.
Leah, that's awesome. That's amazing. And I don't know if you guys caught that, you know, just all the little nuggets and nuances that she was sharing, but you know, this is why it's important to plug in on these huddle calls, because, you know, if you notice, she was asking great questions. You know, she was being conversational, not confrontational, and asking questions that would, you know, gain her agreements, right? To get people to keep saying, yes, yes, yes. Can you do this? Yes. Do you see yourself being able to do this? Yes. You know, and that's what it's about, because on average, if someone agrees with you 7 times, they'll make a buying decision. And most of the time, unfortunately, people don't stick around to get those 7 yeses. And so they're just preparing it for someone else to ask them for those same questions. And so, you know, it's the law of sowing and reaping. I don't know if you guys have, you know, maybe, you know, heard of that concept before or seen it, but, you know, it goes way back before all of us collectively on this Zoom here today. But, you know, it's about, you know, cultivating. It's about first sowing seeds, right? Like, you know, and the seeds in this example, or this illustration, are the experience packs, or X packs is what I like to call them. But you know, because at the end of the day, you never know who's looking. You never know who's looking for better health, looking for better skin health, but also, you know, looking for an opportunity. And I think nowadays, you know, whereas, you know, if and I'm not here to get political. I don't know your beliefs. Good for you for your beliefs, right? Just as you don't care about my beliefs. But I think we can all agree upon, if you know, you're one light switch away from your wherever you live, people making decisions about your income being turned on or turned off, then it's time for you to start a social business online, if you will, right? I think we can all agree with that. And so, you know, think about all the people out there that are hoping, wishing, and praying for an opportunity. And, you know, all we have to do is plant the seed, right? And so, you know, lead with the seed, if you will. And so, you know, the app that, you know, the Share Secret app, it's amazing. I can tell you guys, actually, I have a ton I have to send out today myself, you know, and I just let the tools do the work. Think about this, for example, you know, our Share Secret products, the experience packs or X packs, right? Isn't it just the same as if someone walked past the kiosk and, you know, you pulled them over with those same products? Actually, we have even more products because we have the nutrition. You know, they didn't have those at the kiosk, but Secret did $1 billion plus at retail prices, mind you, you know, with people that spoke Hebrew. So not necessarily the native language from wherever the kiosk was, but, you know, the only thing that was unanimous is that people saw results. And all you had to do was make contact, right? In this situation, contact is a text message, a phone call, you know, maybe even an email. That seems kind of dated nowadays too, right? But a social media message, whether it's Messenger or Instagram or whatever preferred social platform you choose to use. But that's all we're doing conceptually, is reaching out. We're contacting and inviting. And it's not, I don't, you know, I don't want to say the word easy, because nothing is easy. Struggling isn't easy, right? Like, so nothing in this world today seems easy, but conceptually, this is the most simplest thing in the world. You just gotta marry the activity and divorce the outcome, right? But there's a system to it, and system stands for save yourself some time, energy, and money. If everyone can promote the same system, then what's the only variable? I can tell you the
Mhm.
numbers, right? The numbers of experience packs you're sending out. And it is very simple, right? So if I texted Leah, maybe we were old friends or whatever, it doesn't even matter. I just say, hey girl, what's your address? Question mark, smiley face. I mean, it's the same thing. I copy and paste it actually to people. Nowadays we live in this microwave society, right? Like people don't have time, and time is the new real estate, right? So if you can copy and paste the same message to 10 people, I promise you it's going to work out for you. And then all you do is get their address. Now, Leah's exactly right, for her email. And I even put my own phone number in just because, I know it's a third party, but, all I'm asking for is the address, and I want to make it as simple as possible. And then from there, you planted the seed. So what's next? Cultivating, right? And you're cultivating the seed. It's a numbers game, just like anything in life. And so if you're sending out 10, well, that's amazing, right? But here's the thing: most people, unfortunately, they don't stick around to cultivate that seed in order to reap any type of harvest. And you can take secret out and you can put anything in there in life, right? Like the gym. People go, right, and they sign up for a gym membership. Most of them go once. Unfortunately, here's the thing about it: the equipment works, doesn't it? Right? The equipment works. There's people in there that are working the equipment. There's there's uh there's uh there's definitely a huge members list of people that actually don't show up. The gym owner knows that, believe it or not, because they actually couldn't, especially now with COVID, but allow all the actual active members to go into the gym and work out at the same time. I would say about 90% of the gym members don't go to the gym. Do you think the gym owner gets upset? Well, sure. I would imagine they'd love to have more examples to share, just like we would, right? Just like we shared that example of Leah, a $13, Canadian experience pack, right? That she planted the seed, she cultivated and reaped the harvest of a $500 order. Pretty awesome. That pays for an entire month of exposures, of 50 exposures. So what do? Reinvest, just like any business owner would, but at the end of the day, she's planting the seeds, and they're gonna reveal themselves, obviously, as they come to harvest. So that's amazing, Leah. And I would just encourage you guys, keep showing up, keep doing the activity, right? Commit to a year of this, which isn't actually much, 5 to 10 hours a week, part-time on the side. I ask people all the time, how many of you guys, I'll ask you guys, for those of you that have your video on today, how many guys could do this part-time on the side, 5 to 10 hours a week of, on the side of what you got going on, right? Everyone, everyone says that. It's funny too. I ask people all the time before I actually will, sponsor them. I say, hey, how simple was this system of, sharing the experience package? You got it, obviously loved it. And then, inviting you to our informational Facebook group where you got to see just all the details. How simple is that? And they're like, oh my gosh, they say easy. I never say easy to them because I don't want to cripple them, right? But they always say, oh, that's easy. And I say, couldn't you see yourself doing this? And I'm shaking my head and they go, yeah. How many times a day do you think you could do this? And it's funny, the magic number is always 5,000. They laugh, I laugh, because I know they ain't doing it 5,000 times a day, right? And I say, oh, that's hilarious. You could do that, but hey, just do it 2 times a day. How about that? Ha ha ha. That's where I'm serious, because anyone could do that 2 times a day, right? It's like an apple a day keeps a doctor away, is what they say. Now, if you talk to Dr. Cohn, he's like, it's more like 10 apples a day, because it's not the same apple, right? But which he's actually, true. He's definitely dead on with that. But conceptually, these principles are all simple and they work. There's nothing new. There's not like necessarily new technology, right? Any solutions to our life challenges, are typically already written in a book. The challenge with us as humans, we don't pick up the books to get the solutions to our challenges, right? Like we want everything done like yesterday. And just like this, with our system, right? Of 2 exposures a day, right? And 10 in play right away. I mean, think about how simple that is. Copy and pasting. I mean, the 3 responses you're going to get are yes, which is amazing, no, which is also amazing, right? People think that's negative. I think that's positive because I'm in a sorting game. I'm not in a recruiting game. Like if I have to convince you to start, I got to convince you to finish. We don't have time for that. This system is way too simple. And there's too many people looking for us, just like we're looking for them. And we're flipping aces, and there's a lot of aces out there, right? So just stick around to get your aces because you got to go through the 2s. You got to go through the 3s. And, you got to get the drama queens and the kings, right? The jackasses, they're out there, right? We all know them. But the aces are looking for us just like we're looking for them. And I don't mean, a 2 being any type of occupation. I mean a 2 that might be your negative cousin, uncle, or aunt, that doesn't do anything, right? But watch American Idol reruns. I don't know, right? Like, so a 2 is someone that's not interested and you got to convince them to do everything. Don't do that, right? So, but you just got to find the aces. And here's the thing about it. We judge people because we think they're not aces. We for whatever reason, we think that the life that they're living on social media is perfect and they wouldn't want an opportunity like this. I can tell you that when you remove that stinking thinking, as I call it, right? Of thinking someone wouldn't be interested because of the life they portray they live on social media, right? Because social media depression is a real thing. Everyone's living their best life on social media, right? So remove that and just ask them the question. Plant the seed. Let the seed cultivate, because your success is found in that immediate exposure, because nothing would happen without that, but the long-term success, right, is found in the immediate and the ongoing follow-up. People say, when do people get off your list? I say, when they die, when I die. Who's going to outlive who? Ha ha ha. Guess what? I'm actually not kidding, right? Like it's, I ask for permission to follow up if someone's a no, because no just means not right now. You never know what's going on in their life. Here's the cool thing about it. Be kind. For everyone especially in today's world, is fighting a hard battle, okay? And when you genuinely love and appreciate and care for people and you check in on with them, without a back end agenda, right? Guess what? You're going to find people that are looking. Because when you ask someone how they're doing, guess what happens? They ask you too. How awesome is that? Right? And so I always say, oh my gosh, no complaints. Actually, I got one complaint. Time is flying. I love being present, but my girls are getting way too big and way too fast. That's always my response. Thankfully, it's amazing to be present and business is exploding. And guess what they ask next? What are you doing? How funny you should ask, right? And that's it, let them, I want them to want it more than I want it for them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because then typically now, it doesn't always happen this way, right? So, but if you do that enough, right, you're going to experience people that actually want to participate in their own rescue. And when that happens, you plug them into a system and a community of amazing people just like this. And guess what? These events will charge their battery every week to go out and do more and do more and do more and do more. And when their battery's low, these events tend to happen right on time to charge them back up, which is amazing. And so all we're doing is using this high tech to promote that high touch. And guess what? Our seed is going to land on fertile soil and we're going to cultivate it and we're going to reap some amazing harvests. Guys, you have no idea where we are right now in the world of secret, especially in the world of relationship marketing with what's out there nowadays. Man, I genuinely kind of feel sad for people that aren't involved in Secret Direct, especially in relationship marketing, because I just, I remember Leah, and I don't even know if you guys were around back then, but when we first got started, people would order skincare products in Canada, and they would receive body butter, which is amazing, except for the fact that it was frozen in Canada, right? Imagine like trying to overcome that hurdle. Like I would laugh, but then I wouldn't laugh, you know, and then I would be like, oh well, guess what's cool about frozen body butter? And they're like, what? It'll thaw out. I actually didn't know if that was true, believe it or not. So we had those challenges back then. We don't have those challenges today. The challenges we have today are shipping. Shipping is taking a little longer. Well, guess what? I ordered golf clubs on April 24th, and I've been checking in almost every day to figure out where the crap my golf clubs are. And they say 6 to 8 weeks for shipping. And then they told me they'll be in July sometime. Well, that's not 6 to 8 weeks, right? But so, we're not the only ones having shipping challenges. Everyone is having shipping challenges. So don't wish for more problems, wish for more solutions, right? It's we're in the problem solving game or challenge solving games. I hate to actually even call it problems because we don't have problems, we have challenges. Unfortunately, I got a phone call yesterday that and one of my friends, his mom, who we're really, really close with, she actually had passed away yesterday morning. She went to be with her Lord and Savior, and she had battled cancer for a long time, very, very similar to my mom, fighting cancer for 20 years. And, his mom actually told him, she said, Billy, please don't worry. I'm excited to walk through the pearly gates and, meet my maker. Like I'm, left it all out on the playing field. Those are my words, not hers, but in so many words. And she was excited about it, right? She's no longer in pain. But cancer, something like that, Leah, you would agree, that's a problem, right? Like, you try to be positive, you give it the greatest fight you can give. Everyone around you knows you're fighting, they're supporting you, they're loving you, right? But that's a problem. Our health is, the things we're dealing with can be problems. And most people actually spend the most amount of money on their health. Not now, the last 2 weeks they're alive, trying to actually stay alive, because it's if you don't confront it on the front end, you end up tripping on it on the back end, and it's pretty crazy. And Christy said she just beat breast cancer, so that deserves a round of applause. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, that's amazing, Christy. And I didn't know that, but I'll pray for you, keep you in my thoughts, and happy thoughts is what I always say. But so again, we don't have problems, right? Like, we have challenges. Challenges are financial. It's just whether or not you're going to arise to the challenge. You have a challenge with time where you want more time. Well, you might have to sacrifice time on the front end in order to get it on the back end, right? Like people say, oh, I got kids, like it's some sort of disease, like I got kids. Well, guess what? That should be the reason you work harder and be efficient in your business, to be able to have more time and more financial, ability for your children. And I'm not saying be able to give them presents with a T. I'm saying to be able to give them presents with a C, because if we're not happy with the way that our children are growing up in today's economy and today's world, we might want to look at who's influencing them, right? And are we happy with it? It's funny in this example, right? My 3-year-old Cameron, she's crazy. I'm actually not kidding. But I don't say she's crazy in front of her because I don't want her to grow up thinking she's crazy, right? Because you got to be very, very conscious of what you say around your children. They're sponges. But she's crazy. And her and Kylie, my almost 7-year-old, which is crazy to think, we're watching the movie The Little Rascals the other day. How many of you guys have seen that, right? Some of us might need to go back and watch it because it's so cute and innocent, But so, after, she's watched it a few times now, right? And she goes, she says to Lauren yesterday, I'm about to leave. I took the day off yesterday to play golf with some of my friends. because, work hard, play hard, right? And she goes to Lauren, my wife, she goes, "Hey mom, you're a babe." She's 3 years old. And she goes, "Hey mom, you're a babe." And then we start laughing because we don't know where she got it. But then we remembered Spanky from Little Rascals kept saying the word babe, right? And then I go to leave and I tell Cameron, I say, "I love you." I tell Lauren, I say, "I love you." And I tell Kylie, I say, "I love you." And typically she's going to school. So I say, "Give your best effort today," right? That's repeat every day, all day. And I'm going somewhere with this. And then Cameron goes, "Okay, dad, have fun, babe." Right? But so thinking about this, they're sponges, you know? And so I say all that to say we need to work more to be efficient in our lives, right? So we can actually get back the time we say we don't have, right? To be able to invest it, not spend it. People say, like, I'm spending time doing this. Well, if you're spending it, then you're not investing it, right? So we need to invest more time in our business. But I'm not just saying time, I'm saying being efficient, because most people, unfortunately, they have analysis by paralysis, meaning that they're actually busy, they're not productive. And unfortunately, even now, so people they're busy, they're not productive because they're not focusing on the right things. If we were essentially working our business and focusing on income producing activity, we'd have more time. I mean, how much time does it take to ATM someone? Add tag message, right? I just did it actually. While I was welcoming, actually Randy was on. He's the first person on today. I said, "Hey brother, give me 1 second. I'll come back and chat with you. I just got to ATM someone," right? And because I texted her and said, "Hey, Lauren and I started working back within the relationship marketing industry. I think you'd be all over it. I'd love to share with you the details. Are you open?" She said, "Absolutely, would love to. Can you call me in 10 minutes?" I said, "Absolutely not. Ha ha ha. I got to do a Zoom." Even better, we have an informational page on Facebook. I'll just add you and tag you. And then, I'll give you a call after the Zoom. How about that? She said, "Perfect." So I added her while I was, starting the Zoom. So that's one for today. I still got to do another one. So if you do that and you continue doing that, the Facebook page does the presenting, shows the success stories, right? It's a 24/7 meeting loop that works whether you're working or not. Think about how simple that is nowadays to use that high tech and promote the high touch of the experience packs. I mean, I don't know if it gets simpler. Remember the days, right? I say like this as if we're old, but I remember that that this 10 and play right away and 2 a day. I mean, I tell you guys, if you're not doing that, I mean, you can't expect, it would be a false expectation to try and experience results from activity you're not doing, right? Like, and if you think about this, you get that 10 and play right away, right? You plant those seeds and you let it cultivate. You add them in the ATM page just by asking if they're open, right? And then you got to follow up. And I think a lot of us maybe aren't having the success necessarily that we want because we're not completing the ATM process. We're at the AT process, right? Like the add and tag process, because we think maybe they're just going to find our link and sign up. And if they do that, I guarantee you they're not getting started right. And if they're not getting started right, then chances are they're not going to last long. So and to me, I call that recruiting, because recruiting is very amateurish, where you sign people up and you say, "Go get them, boy." And a lot of people unfortunately do that in our profession, and that's why it's gotten a bad rap over the years. I prefer to say sponsoring. Let's sponsor some people. Sponsoring means you're locking arms with them, you're holding their hand, and you're also walking the walk. And you can talk the talk, it's okay, right? But you can't have the first, you can't have the ladder without the first. I'd rather watch a leader versus listen to one. And so stay in the trenches, do that income producing activity, get your 2 out, send those 2 products, ATM those 2 people, right? Whether it's the skincare or the nutrition, like Leah said, spend both, do both, send both. Why wouldn't you? I don't know if Mike Z is interested in skincare or nutrition. So if I send him one, ultimately I'm making that decision for him. That's selfish, right? Actually, I say that loosely, right? Like, so I'm gonna send them both. And guess what I'm gonna say? Which one do you like better? Right? Because if I send one, guess what? I'm gonna say, do you like it? And he's gonna say no if he doesn't. But if I send him two of them, I got a better chance of him telling me versus me telling him, right? But your numbers also compound as well. So I'll lead with those experience packs. I get them out every time. And then I ATM those same people while the actual product is en route to them. Hey, totally random, but are you open to additional income streams if it didn't interfere with your crazy busy schedule? What are they going to say? Same three things. Yes, no, what is it? Right? If they say yes, ATM. If they say, what is it? ATM. If they say no, I say, well, who do you know that's ambitious looking for extra income? Right? Because this is network marketing. All we're doing is marketing the networks, So we're just trying to get to the next person to figure out who's the next us. How many guys would love a Mike Z or Leah Johns on their team? How many guys want both? Right? You'd be done, right? Like, you wouldn't understand that check. You would cash it though. I promise you. Right? And so how do we find that Leah Johns or Mike Z? The system. And the reason we do the system is because a Leah Johns or a Mike Z, they're asking themselves, can I do this? Do I have the time to do this? And would I mind doing this to my friends, family, and neighbors? Because those are the three duplication questions people are asking. Most people aren't joining you or joining us, right? Because maybe we're not duplicating. Maybe we're not following up. Maybe we're not putting that third-party expert from our support team or someone that's sidelined, that's our workout partner. Maybe we're not putting them in a message after we put someone in the ATM and tag them in the videos that they said they're looking to watch, right? Or maybe we're saying too much and we're answering all their questions, because they're going to have questions, especially if they're investing, right? Not spending, investing money and getting started with us. So if they're investing their money, you're damn right they're going to have questions, and they should, because that means they're interested. So why would we take it upon ourselves to answer their questions, knowing that when they're going to do the same thing, people are going to have questions for them and they're not going to be able to answer their questions? So that's why we want to add that third layer, that message, right, with third party, because people love you and they trust you. They just might not respect you in business. They didn't for me. They didn't for me. And guess what? That's okay. I don't blame them. If you saw me when I first entered this profession of relationship marketing, you wouldn't have either, right? But thankfully, the person that introduced me didn't recruit me. He sponsored me. He led me. I was looking to be led. I needed to be led. I actually was hoping, wishing, and praying for an opportunity, and it showed up. And I still judged it. And I actually, I'm not saying to do this, but it was $49 to get started, and I didn't have that money. $49, and I overdrafted a credit card to get in, right? Because I couldn't let my reason to do the business be my excuse why I didn't. Because I grew up with my mom being in the hospital at Johns Hopkins. We pretty much lived there. We went from doing very well financially. My mom, owned a small house cleaning business, and she, no stranger to hard work, right? 38 years old, brain tumor, brain cancer, 13 years old. I get off the bus, I see my mom being taken out on a stretcher. Worst day of my life. I still remember it. Because it doesn't go away, But I can tell you guys this, right? After living in 17 different houses, over the next few years, trying to make ends meet, which, newsflash, ends aren't supposed to meet, they're ends, right? How about that? These little nuances, right? And, we made it happen. My dad, small business, small construction owner, but they didn't own the business. They didn't have this system, because when they weren't there, the business owned them. So if they didn't work, guess what? They didn't get paid. and here's the thing, you know, like we got children, we got family, we got people that count on us. And it may seem like maybe they're counting, they're against us right now. But those people that are against us are actually counting on us. They're just waiting for us to show up and do the activity to yield the results so they can believe in us like we believe in us. Does that make sense? So the people that you're doing it for, sometimes you got to use them as motivation on both ends. And you got to do it, right? And it's simple. ATM 2 times a day, right? It's, you know, X packs 2 times a day, right? In September. David, I'm sorry about that, brother. Yeah, man. Yep. That's challenging. And here's one thing I'm sure we can agree on. Our moms are up in heaven and looking down on us, man. And I'm sure by now, you know, they know we're both in secret, and, you know, so they're probably actually cracking jokes about us, which I wouldn't doubt that either. So, you know, hey, they can laugh with us. They can laugh at us. I don't care, as long as they're laughing, and I'm sure they are. But yeah, so here's the thing, you know, I mean, you know, listen, guys, life is going to happen. Time is the only precious commodity, and numbers are numbers, right? Numbers are numbers. Just commit, you know, commitment, doing the thing in which you said you would do long after the emotional commitment or attachment has gone away. Because everyone's fired up, you know, when they're fired up, right? But life happens, life gets in the way. And that's why it's important to stay close to this fire. But you got to do those exposures, whatever it means to you. $500 part-time on the side, if that's all you're looking for, guess what? You can do that. You can do that pretty simple too. You want to make 5,000? It's going to take some work. You want to make 500,000? It's going to take more work. Yeah, Leah, go ahead, please.
And, you know, going through the stages of this business, I think that's one thing, you know, we're all at different stages. And so, you know, being someone who's curious about where we have to grow personally, like Ben, you know, you like just listening to Ben, look at where he's at personally. Like his mindset is there. So, you know, diving into books, making it a habit of, you know, at 20 minutes a day reading, starting your day, you know, with that. There's a lot of things going on in this world that can get us into this dark hole where, you know, if you just, you know, you need to, you know, be aware of what's going on, but you need to push forward and just know that but this too shall pass. And where do you want your business to be? Where do you want your life to be when that happens? And not only that, as we do this on serving other people and bringing them along with us into the light, right? Giving them hope. And a lot of people are out there without a lot of hope right now. And this is the perfect time to invest. It's like any investment out there, right? There's that time, you know, we've got basically a time to invest in prime property on the ocean front right now, where prices are really low before it completely blows up. It is blowing up, but it's just going to be going on momentum for the next 5 years. And you guys are in it right now. You're in it. So, you know, and know where you need to grow. And like, I think what made me different from the thousands of other people who quit. I've been in this business for 18 years, the thousands and thousands of people who quit. And instead I pushed forward was because I constantly self-reflected. Where do I have to grow? I was honest with myself. I noticed where I had to grow. I didn't beat myself up on it. I just knew became aware. And if I didn't know, I asked someone. I asked, and I'm okay for some feedback that might affect my ego a little bit, but I would take it and I would digest it like a big girl, you know, because how we look at ourselves and how someone else sees themselves. And again, it's all different perspective, but you got to take it and you got to grow from that. And then,
absolutely.
Then not only that, you know, sometimes, because we do, and it's just like, but then, you know, and then just, I've been in places too, coming out of being super sick, super depleted, you know, and I lost all my confidence that I've built over the years. It was like I was a baby again. And that was only like 2 years ago when I finally started coming back at it. Making one phone call was scary as crap for me, actually. So I get it if you guys are stuck there, but the only way to get unstuck is to get going. The only way to get unstuck. And if you need someone to hold your hand, put the ego aside, you've got the team to do that. Okay. If you need someone, you got to reach out. And sometimes it's, you know, rather than going, oh, this isn't for me, I'm going to quit. My why to stay home with my children pulled me through. You know, the first people I talked to about my business and about my products all said no to me. They didn't just say no, they were horrible to me.
Mine too.
And I was like, wait a second, I didn't sign up for this. Like I didn't see anything else. And I'm glad I pushed through anyway. But if I didn't reach up to my mentor and instead just went into my own little silent cave and disappeared, then I would have not had a residual income for 2 years when I couldn't do I could do very little because I had to battle what I need to battle. And as a single mom battling cancer, you know what, I was able to put food on my table, pay my crazy expensive rent, you know, I had to sell my home, move out. Like it was a gone show. And I'm so grateful that I built that residual income for that. So residual income really was like, I never took time off like that before. I didn't understand it. I didn't really get it, but I understood it when I was sick. So you guys, we have something very special. I grew up with family. We ran a traditional business. We worked like dogs 9 to 5. And at the end of the day, we were driving beat up old cars and we didn't have money to fix our homes because of the cost of running a business, all right? A traditional business and the time and effort it takes. You know, literally to keep your lights on is sending out these experience packs, and then boom, you get these orders that you don't have to have. Like it's, and the staff in the business grows your business. It doesn't cost you business, and there's people looking for money, and you guys grow together. Like this, I think if the world caught on to this, you know, the whole world would change in network marketing if they all took this platform, because we all would win together. I truly believe people are looking for this. Don't understand it. And that's okay. So just stay positive. Don't let those people in the beginning or those naysayers, they're going to watch you. Just stay positive and just stay on track. Keep showing up. Know where you're at. Where do I need to grow? Okay, you know what? Maybe it's my self-confidence, whatever. Start reading some books. Build on that. That's your responsibility as a human being. And I tell my kids, you know, I'm just working on becoming a better person every single day. I'm just working on becoming a better me every single day. And what does that look like? I'm unique. You're unique. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to be like Ben. You have to show up and grow to be the best you. And that's what I love about this business is we don't get that training is here. You know, you've heard Jesse McPherson, you've been on Moose Offers, you've heard Ben, you keep showing up. So I want to thank you for showing up, for listening to this replay, for sharing this replay with other people, because I don't know who needs to hear this. So you need to care enough about people to make sure that they're tapped in and say, I care about you. And because I care about you, I want you to take some time to listen to this replay, because we're doing something big here and I don't want you to miss out on this. So make sure your team who's enrolled, who are on these, and yeah, we're doing this together. You're not in business by yourself. So thank you so much, Ben. Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to put that out.
Perfect. Hey, it's perfectly. No, it's amazing. So just so you guys know, I put the different PDFs here in the chat thread. They can also be found at teamsynergytraining.com. I'm sorry, teamsynergyagents.com, teameliteagents.com as well. So whichever one you prefer. There's an ATM tab that you can check out. There's a how-to video uploaded on teameliteagents.com under the ATM tab that I put together. But whatever works, right? Like people say, if there's a $50 bill and a $100 bill on the table, which one do I take? People say, oh, easy, that's the $100 bill. And I say, no, take both. We didn't say you couldn't, right? So, you know, get out of your own way. Stop allowing people to tell you what to do and just go get what you're worth, you know? and because you deserve it. And at the end of the day, people say, well, they want to quit or something, right? And for me, it's like, how can you quit back to the life that you were trying to quit? It doesn't make sense to me. So, just stick to it. Give it a year, 2 a day, 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month, right? 50 weeks, take 2 weeks off, right? Like, you're just sending out 2 a day. That's 2,500 exposures in a year. 2,500 exposures. Now, if you just marry that activity, right, you can't not have results. Even if you signed up 10% as agents or VIPs, that's 250 in a year. I mean, that's amazing. That's almost, you'd be doing well. You'd be doing very well. And so again, guys, get your 2 out, start today. There's the weekends coming tomorrow. Maybe you didn't do them yesterday or the day before. That's okay. Make up for it for this weekend, right? And go in your back office, register for boot camp that's coming up in the latter part of July. You want to be there, I promise you, because you guys see Leah and myself spitting off all this stuff. That's our subconscious talking, right? We didn't think about this beforehand. And how does that work? Because we showed up. Our attitude came first before our paycheck, and the paycheck followed, right? Because we committed to go to those events. Even before we could commit to go to those events, we found a way, right? So be resourceful, knock that out. And David said, even a busted clock is right twice a day. Amen to that. Boot camp is where it's at, guys. So knock it out this weekend. I believe in you. You can do this, right? And let's make it happen. The replay will be live up in the agent Team Elite Agents group. Make sure you get that out. And ATM, baby, let's make it happen. Appreciate you guys. And let's smash it this weekend. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye for now.
Ben. Thanks, Leah. Have a great weekend.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Everyone.
Thanks, everyone.